Hey there, today we're doing a review of the Pakkable travel bag. Here at Nomads Nation, we have been reviewing the world's best EDC and travel gear for over 7 years. And in this video, I'm gonna show you everything that you need to know to decide if this is the bag for you. We're gonna fully pack it out, double check its advertised capacity and its carry-on compliance. And I'll give you my brutally honest pros and cons and overall scores, so you can know if this bag is worth the price. And if you're not quite sure, you're gonna wanna stick around to the end, because if this is not the bag for you, I'll make a couple of alternative recommendations that you might like a little bit better, or hopefully a lot better. Let's jump into it. Let's talk about the gist of the Pakkable travel bag. A new brand on our radar. Pakkable is Swiss-owned, Vietnamese-made, and also there's a little bit of like family ties going on here I want to be transparent about. As to where the Pakkable bag is developed by BagMe. BagMe is one of the world's best bag development teams. They're on the ground in Ho Chi Minh. And BagMe also helps to develop my bag brand, which I started a few years ago after reviewing thousands of backpacks. And that brand's called Firo. So I just want to be upfront about that. But here at Nomads Nation, my reputation as a bag reviewer is really important to me. So I won't let that relationship really get in the way of letting you know what I honestly think about this product. Let's talk about some of the bag's top features. It's a 28-liter bag that can expand to 32 liters. We've got a quick access front pocket with a bit of organization. 2 side pockets. These are great for water bottles, but only of specific sizes. We'll test out what sizes 2 chapters from now. Clamshell style access to the main compartment with a bit of organization. A beautiful internal fabric and lining game. I like this. But one thing I'm not as sure if I like is the implementation of the tech compartment in the back. I think it's interesting, but it might have a few deal breakers for certain people. We'll talk about that 3 chapters from now. Again, the bag is advertised at 28 liters capacity that can expand to 32 liters. Let's double check that. All right, you can see we got the main compartment fully packed out with our factory grade measurement balls. Let's check the dimensions with the bag fully expanded. We've got a depth of 10.5 inches, a height of 18 inches, and a width of around 12 inches. So as you can see here, we're at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, just over 30 liters. Call it like 32 on the dot. And that's just in the main compartment. So if you have the side pockets, front pocket, and the back laptop compartment, I'd say this bag is gonna carry like a 32 to 35 liter, no problem. Let's just double check the depth and capacity with the bag unexpanded. Got around 9 inches depth. And you can see that we're just over 25 liters capacity. So yeah, really great measuring job on this bag. 28 liters to 32 liters expanded, like on the dot. The bag weighs just under 2.9 pounds on scale number 1 and just under 2.8 pounds on scale number 2. The bag only comes in one color option, black. This is the bag when it's empty, and this is the bag when it's fully packed out and worn on the Nomads Nation team. All Pakkable bags are protected by their lifetime warranty. And for all that, this runs around 190 USD. Now here's the deal. That price point is really important for this review because it gives us context. Sort of our North Star to determine if this bag is worth the price or if it's maybe a ripoff. But I gotta let you know that if at any point during this review, you think this bag is totally worth the price and you're thinking about picking one up, we highly suggest doing so with the first link in the description below. Reason being, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes. But that link also helps support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team, so we can keep making the best gear reviews on the web. Thank you very much. All right, let's talk about the front of the Pakkable travel bag. Kicking this off by talking about the silhouette. I think it looks clean. I think it looks professional. It's not too overly modern and futuristic, but it also wouldn't look out of place in a business meeting. So overall, nice job in the execution of the design. And one big reason the bag looks so good is because it's using 840D Cordura Ballistic Nylon. That's this primary fabric here, which I'm not gonna lie, like I get a little bored sometimes of 840D Cordura Ballistic Nylon because every other backpack I review has some form of 840D Ballistic Nylon on it, but there's good reason. 840D slaps, dude. Like, it's the best fabric you can make a backpack out of. So it's been overdone to death because if it's not broken, don't fix it, right? This nylon is gonna have a beautiful little sheen to it. It's going to be stupid weather resistant. You can see right here, it's not going to be waterproof, but the ballistic nylon is going to repel the water quite nicely, giving you a bit of water resistance. And the fact that it's made by Cordura, one of the best fabric weavers, makers, whatever they are, Cordura just makes the best fabric. So if it's Cordura, it's going to last. And it's a significant aspect that's contributing to this bag's higher price point, because this thing's covered in a lot of Cordura. Pakkable's logo sewn in right here. Super subtle, very discreet. Let's talk about the front pocket. And we got 2 seams right here, one of which has no zipper. False alarm. The other of which does have a zipper. The zipper doesn't go all the way down. We got a little bit of a gap right there, so you kind of, it's a little bit tight, but you can see we got some internal organization and a key leash. This pocket is nice because it's actually got some volume to it. I got a bulky jacket from Nomadic here. And you can see if the main compartment's not packed out, it can actually fit in there. Right now, what this bag and these pockets are able to fit depends on what other compartments are packed out with, but it's nice to have that extra volume for those times that you need it. But for most people, this pocket will just carry your smaller bits of gear. You'll pop the key on the key leash. Zippered Darlington mesh pocket right here. This is a beautiful stretchy mesh. I love this fabric. I'm gonna throw my backup headphones in there with some meds. Love also this fabric. No doubt that Pakkable has splurged on their fabric game, which is very important to me, especially at this price point, right? If you're spending 200 USD on a bag, like, you wanna feel it. And these touch points, like, you're gonna feel it. These fabrics are gorgeous. I'm gonna throw my sunglasses in there, and then just do a book and my OTE headphones, just to show you that this pocket's got it going on, a lot of space. This is a great pocket, particularly for quick access. That's where you can swing the bag around, unzip, grab your book, if that's what you want quick access to. Or whatever you might need fast access to. Oh, and I missed, there's actually a little hidden AirTag sleeve right up in here for your tracker. This sort of quick access pocket has been implemented in a lot of bags. Evergood CPL24 kind of really popularized it in my opinion, but now we've seen how Pakka do it. Moment, TomTalk, BagSmart. It's nothing new because it, again, really works really well. Moving on, let's talk about the middle of the Pakkable travel bag. Zippers, let's talk about them. One thing I like, one thing I don't like. I love the fact that these are YKK. YKK best zippers in the game. You're spending 200 bucks on a bag. You don't want your zippers to fail on you. Zippers can fail, even YKK, but they're significantly less likely than non-name brand. But I don't like these zipper pulls as much. I feel like these are just like cheap plastic zipper pulls. I know it's a small thing and it's not gonna bother everyone. I can be a little nitpicky. I just want the full experience of like, yo, if we're going premium, like let every touch point feel premium, and this is just kind of like, I've seen this on like $10 hiking bags, I feel like. It does feel a little outdoorsy to me. And then one thing that you might like or might not like, depending on what's important to you, is gonna be the fact that this zipper is PU coated. PU coated zippers are extremely weather resistant. In fact, in our testing, we found out that they're like 30% additionally weather and water blocking than non-PU coated zippers. That was a mouthful. But this matte coating is plastic, and if exposed to enough sunlight and humidity, it could look like this over the years. Never a guarantee, but it can happen, something you should be aware of. Now before we get into the main compartment, let's talk about these two side pockets because they're muy interesante. They're both the same exact design where you have like this half circle, accessible via zipper, and then you've got this Darlington mesh gusset, keeping the pocket in place. And I'll show you an array of things that fit in there and that do not fit in there when the main compartment is fully packed out. Speaking of which, main compartment, we got clamshell, style opening. For me, must have on a modern travel backpack. This just means when you get to your hotel, or even when you're packing at home, right? It just gives you full access, easy to put your packing cubes here. I don't need my EDC to be clamshell style opening these days, but for a travel bag, non-negotiable. Now we gotta say the size range is great. 28 liters that can expand to 32 liters, because for someone like me, I can travel on a 28 liter backpack for a weekend trip like no problemo. Got your one packing cube with your week's worth of clothes, top kit for the bathroom stuff, tech pouch on top, and that's the trifecta, right? You just need those three things. Your bathroom stuff, your tech stuff, your clothes stuff, then you're good. And you actually can even fit a little bit more in here. For you gamers out there, you can fit that. And the top pocket I quite like because even though it doesn't use a stretchy fabric, there's still a bit of volume in there, so something bulkier can fit in there, no problem. These are little development and construction things that go a long way. Sometimes you get a travel bag and this pocket is just, it's flush and it looks nice, but you can't fit anything in there. I have to admit, for the size, it feels like it can pack really well. It's kind of like actually awesome from a capacity perspective. So anyways, back to the two modes, right? This is your weekend trip where you just have a single packing cube. But then, let's say you're going on a week-long trip. You just gotta bring a few extra things. That's when you expand, right here. We got a gusset of around 2.5 inches. And then you can see we probably created around 20% more space. So if you wanna throw some shoes in there with your over-the-ear headphones case and this, you get the gist, right? Just gives you around 20 to 30% more space for those times when you need it. I'm really pushing the zippers right now, guys. That's what we do in our reviews. Some people complain in the comments, like, Aaron, you push the bags too far in your reviews. I'm like, yeah, it's the whole freaking point. All right, now let's bring it back to these side pockets, because they're interesting. Let's just say you want to use the side pocket for your cell phone. You can throw your phone in there, and then you can actually zip the pocket up. And then you're staying nice and clean and flush. But when you start putting bulkier items in there, you're gonna lose your ability to close that zipper. So for instance, I got a 24-ounce Columbia water bottle here, and you can see it's a perfect fit. Very nice, very secure, but we're not really, you can zip it a little bit, right? But like it's not closing over. It's just gonna depend on the dimensions of the gear you're putting in the pocket. So for some people, this is gonna look a little off, especially with such a business-friendly looking bag. But then again, like not a lot of business bags really nail the water bottle holder. This reminds me of like Nomadic trying to reinvent the wheel, and those water bottle holders did not look good when they're being used. So you got some nice versatility with these because of that, but they're also gonna be not as versatile because they're kind of small. Got a height of just under 9 inches. And with this gusset, it's gonna be limited. So my 1 liter Yeti, you know, actually, this fits in there quite nicely. But yeah, the aesthetic is kind of weird. You got all this black fabric, but now you've got like this tan fabric just kind of screaming at you. Functionally speaking though, it's actually, it's a good solution. You're gonna feel extra clutter coming out of these sides here, like you normally would if you had something on the side of your bag. So a quick upside down test. Yeah, very nice. Now for other things, umbrella, again, it stays in there, but you're not gonna close it back up. But if you wanna put something like a rain cover in there in case you're going to Vietnam in monsoon season, that place is crazy in the summer. You can see you can actually zip that up. So you got some versatility with these pockets. I'd like to hear what you think. Pakkable really went for it with these 2 pockets. Like they didn't say we're doing 1, we're doing 2. Doubled, both sides. I think they're interesting, but I'd love to hear what you think. Let me know your thoughts on the pockets in the comments below. A few more quick notes. We've got a gorgeous top handle right here. Now, nerding out about touch points, this is a great touch point. Reason being, we're using some sort of like squishy lycra or neoprene material at the bottom. Full disclosure, I think it's actually the same fabric that we use on some Firo bags, which, you know, I'm obsessed with that fabric. It just feels amazing. There's definitely some neoprene in there for sure, giving this just like a really squishy, comfortable feel. Plenty of space to grab this handle. Only 1 handle though. Some people, like my sister, host of Gear for the Girls, be sure to check that channel out, but she needs a side handle. So top handle, she would approve of this, especially the location, centered, therefore giving you a balanced handle carrying experience, but no side handles could be a deal breaker for some. Now before we do the carry-on check, let's talk about self-standing, because this bag self-stands really, really well. It's actually quite interesting. It's got a decent amount of padding, but it's not very heavy for the fact that it's, 32 liters technically, and the fact that it's got a decent amount of padding on the outside to give it its shape and structure. And that shape and structure typically makes a bag really hard, like think like a Nomadic bag. That thing's like a box, just a big old box. But this bag, you've got a bit more malleability to it, but it still gives it a really nice base and a really nice structure. Self-stands like a champ. I give it like a 4 out of 5 on the self-standing scale. This is our sizer for USA carry-ons, 18 by 14 by 8 inches. You can see even expanded. Ooh, we're having a hard time getting the bag in there when it's expanded. Depth problems. But when the bag is not expanded, we indeed can squeeze in. Don't worry, I know what you're gonna say. Why don't they have panels on their carry-ons? We're working on it. There will be a complete square soon. But in the meantime, you can see from the overhead view, it is legit. On the bottom, we also have this, what are you? Hypalon rubber? Sort of like a little cutout here. And this is covering the bottom zipper, which I think is a nice touch. It's basically just protecting the expansion zipper, right? 'Cause this runs around the whole circumference, 360 degrees. You don't want that zipper getting messed with in the concrete. So this little cover right here should offer a bit of protection. Never seen that before. Nice touch. Love that. Now, before we jump into the next section, I gotta let you know that if you are enjoying this review, well, I'd like to welcome you to Nomads Nation again and tell you that you may have found your people. Like here at Nomads Nation, we are on a mission to show you the best gear for your life on the move. That's travel, EDC, carry, and sort of everything in between. And if that's what you dig, you're a bit of a gearhead, you like to travel a lot, then you might be happy to find out that here at Nomads Nation, we don't just do gear reviews on the YouTube channel, but we also have the Nomads Nation newsletter. And in that newsletter, you can look at me like you're a reporter in the field, bringing directly to your inbox a few times a month everything that's happening in this incredible industry. I'm talking limited edition releases, the newest drops, industry trends, and everything in between. It is truly a one-of-a-kind newsletter that does not exist anywhere else, which is why we have over 10,000 subscribers and an industry high, almost 80% open rate. which is like mind-blowingly good. So if you want to keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in this incredible world, be sure to look for this globe emoji in the description below. Hope to see you in your inbox. Moving on, let's talk about the back of the Pakkable travel bag. And let's just go to the laptop compartment because it's interesting. Some risks were taken here, and I like when risks are taken on bags, but this one irks me ever so slightly. As to where the laptop compartment is actually behind the shoulder straps. And you can see now I can open this bad boy up and boom, laptop emerge. And it's just different. It's quite unique. I haven't quite seen this exact execution. What's gonna annoy me about this? It's just the fact that every time I have to get my laptop, I have to move the shoulder straps. Like there's no way around it. It's like I might be able to grab here, but then I'm stuck right there. Now, sometimes you'll see a laptop compartment on the back like this, where you can grab the laptop from like side access, but that's not gonna happen with this design. Zipper's gonna get stuck here, and you gotta do one of these. So guys, first world problems, not the end of the world, but something that, I don't know, just might irk you over time the way that it might irk me right now. Also, I'm not in love with the clamshell style opening here. It seems like we're placing some stress on the zipper when you really give it that full wide opening. The zipper's kind of doing a split right now, which I'm also not crazy about. Those 2 points aside, I actually think this is really cool because you gotta love a bag that is like your portable office. And that's what this bag is. That's what this compartment in the bag is. Actually, the whole bag is very professional in that sense, in my opinion. And it should be noted too that one man's con is another man's pro, because if you live in a place like Europe, which can be a little bit more prone to theft, right? I read all the comments on this channel, and like I know you Europeans out there, especially the ones in the UK, France, Spain, those are just the ones that we get the most recurring comments on, and people are like really concerned there about getting their stuff stolen, right? So if you're in a location like that, getting a bit more of a vault situation with your laptop is probably really nice with peace of mind. So pro and a con, depending on how you look at it. You can see here, I've just barely squeezed my cutout of a 16-inch MacBook Pro in here. Also, what's interesting is the laptop sleeve itself actually goes into the main compartment. So it sort of tucks in there, all cozy and we've got a really nice lining on the back right here as well. Overall, this is a decked out laptop compartment. As long as you can get over the whole behind the shoulder strap thing, we got really nice padding here, really nice microfiber here. What's the false bottom situation? Yeah, you can see that the bottom of the laptop compartment is actually elevated from the bottom of the bag, providing extra support in the situation that your bag, oh my God. That's a good false bottom. It's because A, the false bottom is very false, it's very lifted, but also B, there's just a ton of padding underneath here, which means like you can't hear the thump, right? With a lot of bags, when I hit the table, you hear this, because there's no protection in between your laptop and the bag. But this one, oh, I can do that all day, baby. 13.5-inch iPad, will it fit? It absolutely will. So we got a nice 1-2 setup with the tech, but pockets like these are gonna rock or depending on how you pack them out. For instance, if you're expecting to pack bulky tech gear in these pockets, you're not gonna have a good time. The reason is, sure, we can get it to fit, but then this is clashing with that, and those things don't work. This is just, it's not like, there's not a lot of depth here. This is a flat compartment. But if you're cool with keeping your smaller bits of gear there and flatter, you know, you got your battery, got your pens, got your wired headphones, Bluetooth mouse, extra cables, that's what goes in these pockets. Can we zip it up? We can, for sure. I like that tech compartment. What do you think? I'd like to hear your thoughts on the tech compartment. I think it's really interesting. I think it's got a lot going on for it. Let me hear what you think in the comments below. Let's talk about how a backpack could be a great suitcase companion. It takes one thing, guys, and that's this right here, a luggage pass-through holder, which I suspect this thing is going to be exceptional. Oh yeah. I mean, I already know. I've used a lot of luggage pass-through holders, and this one is cream of the crop. Couple reasons why. It's quite tall, and we got a lot of reinforced stitching right here, so it's not gonna pop out anytime soon. But also, it's not too tight, nor is it too loose. Sometimes they're too tight, which is nice because it's very flush and looks good, but then you can never get the actual luggage handle like underneath it. But you saw how easy that was to do. This bag's in 28-liter mode right now, and it's fairly packed out, and sliding it on, oh, that's just wonderful. So 5 out of 5 for execution on that. Now, one last cool thing about a luggage pass-through holder that's as tall as this is if you get really creative, you can throw a hidden pocket on there, which is exactly what Pakkable did. On the back side here, you can see we got a zipper and we got a pocket right there, which is a great spot for your passport, wallet, boarding pass, backup cash. It's a great travel access pocket, when you're actually, going from home to hotel. But then when you actually get to your hotel, this could actually act as a really nice vault. Secure, hidden away, put your backup cash there, your backup credit cards, out of sight, out of mind. Now let's talk about comfort. Comfort of a bag comes down to two things, the shoulder straps and the back panel. For the back panel, we have a really nice mesh right here and really nicely padded, plus a little bit of ventilation cutting right down the middle. But then for the shoulder straps, we're using the same fabric that's being used underneath the top handle, which again is the same fabric that we're using on Firo, which I'm not sure if it's the exact same blend, but it's basically got some neoprene in there, right? And that's what's gonna give it its squishiness, that marshmallowy feel. Now compared to Firo straps, these are a little bit less firm. They got a little bit more squishiness to them, or like flimsiness, which is not a bad thing necessarily, just depends on what you find more comfortable. But overall, this lining is luxury. It feels amazing. The squish is just so enjoyable. But one negative about this, and same thing with my bag, is that sometimes a fabric like this can be a little slippery. So if you wear like those down jackets and these shoulder straps don't always get along, because it's just slippery on slippery, right? Some people prefer a mesh like this on their shoulder straps, which has a lot more grip, but then that grip is like very scratchy and coarse, and I don't like it. I'll take this all day. And the good news is that if you are wearing an article of clothing that's a bit slippery, all you need is to lock in the sternum strap, and then slippery, no more. Sternum strap is very easy to maneuver and get to your position via this rail. And then below it, we've got dangle stopper here. My favorite ones, the plastic dangle stoppers, keeping our little dangle protester happy. What are we using for hardware here, guys? Do we cut some corners? No, Woojin. Great hardware. So this has got Cordura fabrics, Woojin hardware, YKK zippers at 190 USD. Actually, there's a lot of value in this bag. Overall, it's a really comfortable bag, guys. The shoulder straps are coming in at just under 3 inches. Could use a bit more depth for me. I don't know. No, we're getting over 1 centimeter, so they just feel lighter, which is nice too. But yeah, overall, comfort, very nice. I mean, this is just like my favorite. But one thing to keep in mind is with the laptop compartment, is if you are putting bulkier things in there, you might feel it. And the reason is like, my tech stuff is right here. And it's never painful, like it's never gonna hurt, but it just might warp the back panel a little bit, is where it's like, oh yeah, charger's right there. So do keep that in mind. If that's gonna annoy you, you're super OCD, then just be conscious of how you're packing the bag out. Moving on, let's talk about the overall pros and cons of the packable travel bag. Pro number one is gonna be all the high quality materials. Like I say, Cordura fabrics, YKK zippers, Woojin buckles. This is a high quality bag. Pro number two for me is gonna be used to the shoulder strap lining. It's so gushy, comfortable, and amazing. I'm a really big fan. And pro number three, I'm gonna say expansion. It doesn't mean it's gonna be for everyone, but a lot of people like expansion. And I don't think there's enough bags that look good that are in this price point range that actually offer expansion. It's kind of rare sometimes. So I think that Pakkable is gonna make a nice little niche for themselves by adding that feature. But on the flip side, all bags have cons. Here's mine. Con number one, potentially some compromised functionality with the side water bottle pockets. Con number two is accessing the tech compartment with the shoulder straps getting in the way. That might get annoying. And con number three, with that tech compartment, if you are loading it out with bulky tech gear, you might just kind of feel it on your back. Not in a way that's painful, but just in a way that's noticeable. Okay, now we'll take the pros and cons, mash them together, and give you our overall scores. First score, comfort. I'm gonna give this bag like a 4 out of 5. It's cozy. All the padding on the back panel, great padding, size, width, depth, everything you want in the shoulder straps, especially that's a little bit of neoprene in the lining. Sternum strap, it's great. Only thing that irks me a little bit is a little bit of bulging happening depending on what's packed out in the tech compartment. Next up, for value, I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. Could almost give it a 4. But the reason I give it that score is I think that other companies may have brought the same bag to market, but they would have charged like $215, $230, even $250 for it. I think Pakkable's pricing is actually pretty reasonable. Actually, really nice, given actually what you're getting. Screw it, I'm bringing it up to 4. It's a 4 out of 5 on the value scale, assuming it stays at 190 USD. For my overall score, I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. And if you're thinking like, wait, but there's a 4 on comfort and a 4 on value, how does it drop to a 3.5? These are just the scores that we're comfortable actually giving objective numbers on. But I think if I take the bag as a whole, with some potential misses with the tech compartment for some people and the water bottle pockets, overall, it's just a really solid bag though. Like 3.5 out of 5, bringing this to market, I'm really excited about it. I'd love to travel with it. But do keep in mind, these scores are 100% personal, just based on my experience with the bag. But there's a good chance that if you're still here watching this, you might be digging this bag and you might agree with my score. You might say, Aaron, 3.5, that's it? This is a 5 for me. And I'm totally picking one up. And if that's the case and you're gonna make a purchase, just a reminder, we do recommend doing so with the first link in the description, just because that link makes sure that you get the best price. And if we have any discount codes, which we often do, that's what they'll be. But if you're not quite sold on the Pakkable, let's talk alternatives. First up, if you're new to the channel, you should definitely check out our leaderboard video. This is where myself and the Nomadization team, we get together and we pick our favorite bags in different bag categories so you can see what the best options in the market are. I've gone ahead and linked that video above. Second, if you're new, I also want to tell you, as I've mentioned a few times in this video, that here at Nomadization, we actually started our own backpack brand as well. I reviewed like 300 bags. I wanted to take on the challenge of building my own, and since then we've launched an EDC, a sling, and a travel bag, and we're building our own passionate community. I'm so proud of what we built at Firo with the Bag Me team. Shout out to Bag Me. So if you want to learn more about that, you can do so at firo.co or with the second link in the description. But if we're really close with the Pakkable, here's two alternatives that might get you a little bit closer. My first alternative is going to be the Tortuga expandable backpack. Great pick for you if you're looking for a bag in this exact size range, right? The Tortuga expands from 27 to 32 liters, so basically the exact same thing. But I would just say that they're a little higher quality than Pakkable. It's just slightly, like we're just barely. But they're a more established brand, and for some buyers that means something. Tortuga's lifetime warranty is very renowned, but it's $250 as opposed to $190, so you gotta pay for that. But honestly, it's a really great expandable bag. And my second alternative recommendation is gonna be the Osprey Daylight 26+6. Great pick for you if you're in the market for a bag in this size range, but you don't need or want to spend 190 USD. Osprey's 26+6 is iconic. It is a travel masterpiece, and it's only around $100. Now, if you want it to be business friendly, it's not gonna do that, especially in this nightmare clown color that we reviewed it in, but it also comes in black. So if you're less interested in the business aesthetic, Osprey could be a great alternative to look into. But honestly, all three bags rock. You just gotta figure out which one rocks best for you. And to learn more about the alternatives, just go ahead and watch these videos right here. If you got any questions about any bags, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Aaron, this is Nomadization, and we'll catch you next time.